I think we all naturally tend to migrate toward people who are like us, or who we think are like us, or who we know, exactly, who you're familiar with. But we do have to be more conscious about making that extra effort to go and bring in someone who might be on the periphery.
I'm not sure if you guys follow different podcasts, but Rianka and the 2050 Trailblazers. So she mentioned that when she goes to conferences, there's been some conferences she's gone to, and there's not been one person that's come up and talked to her. Like, how sad is that? That she could go through a whole 3-day conference and nobody's addressed her. And so that would not be me. I would go up and talk to people. To me, I kind of sense the people that feel like they're a little bit uncomfortable. And so whether it's a happy hour or a mixer or any kind of business setting like that, but for her to say that she goes to conference after conference and then so the other person on the podcast was saying, well, so what should we do? Just come up and say hi, and just, comment on, whatever, what brought you here, or, I like, your shirt, or
well,
just
you bring
anything.
up a great point, because
just
that
feel welcome, included.
That speaks to inclusion.
Because why would you go back if you don't feel?
Well, we would talk to our kids on the playground. If you see kids alone, go up and say hello. It's the same thing in a business setting. We have a responsibility to
it does have to be
that.
It does have to be intentional, because I think we all naturally tend to migrate toward people who are like us, or who we think are like us, or who we know, exactly, who you're familiar with.
It really is an active, conscious effort.
Yeah.
I mean, I still recall my very first focus experience in Boston, and that was 11 years ago. Walking down the expo floor, didn't see a whole lot of Asian faces there, really. I mean, I felt like that sense of belonging. No, there's none of that.
An industry that's so predominantly or traditionally dominated by white males is the typical stereotype of a financial advisor. This has to be a proactive initiative. It can't simply be reactive. It's too late sometimes.
I have this thing, and it's just a little personal thing, is if I go to a lunch or a dinner and there's an empty table, I go to the empty table because I'm curious to see who will come to sit at the table.
If anybody will come sit. How often do people come? What's your duration?
It varies. There'll be, it varies. But it's just interesting. It's kind of like, okay, who will I draw today?
That's interesting. Oh, interesting.